Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be acting like a horny virgin teenager. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer, and he's been interacting with a woman for a couple of years. I guess when they first met, they both were in relationships with other people, but eventually they both found themselves single, and he goes through some of his interactions with her and asked me to critique his game. And he even recognizes in his email that he sent that he basically acted like a horny virgin teenager on a couple of occasions, which turned her off and caused her to put him in friend zone. So I'm going to go through and analyze what he did right, what he did wrong, and if there's any chance that he could potentially get a third shot with this particular girl. No pun intended, of course. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, "In order for a man to seduce a woman successfully, he must make her feel safe and comfortable and that she's very special to him. Women want to avoid being labeled a slut, being used for sex, getting a disease, and being alone with a man who doesn't immediately stop his sexual advances when she says no, stop, or slow down. Men who are impatient, insecure, controlling, who get angry and frustrated, disrespectful, or who treat women like a piece of meat to be used and then tossed aside, are going to immediately set off a woman's internal safety and comfort alarm. Once that alarm sounds inside of a woman, her legs will close and she will start withdrawing from him. Once a man starts acting like a horny virgin teenager, the chances of him recovering and having sex with her are almost zero." So let's take a closer look and see what he did. He says, "Hey Corey, I met this girl 2 years ago while we were both in relationships. She's 20 and I'm 24. She's a solid 10 and gets a lot of attention from men and really enjoys flirting. So it sounds like she's got plenty of options. We became friends, and that's why when a woman has lots of options, she's going to test the shit out of all those options, and she's looking for the most mysterious, the strongest, and the most centered guy that she can find. And when she backs off or takes a little bit longer to return a guy's text or his phone call, and he can't handle it, he blows her phone up, that's how she determines which guy she should go out with and which guy she shouldn't. Because a guy who has lots of choices and lots of options himself is going to be busy. And he's secure and comfortable in his manhood and what he has to offer. And so if he leaves a text or a message or sends an email or a Snapchat or WhatsApp or a Facebook message, whatever it happens to be, he's going to be comfortable waiting to hear back from her because he knows if she really likes him, she'll get back with him. And if she doesn't, oh well, fuck it. It's her loss. He ain't going to be chasing after somebody that's just simply not willing to reciprocate interest." We became friends over the course of the school year because of our respective relationship statuses, which in hindsight was a big mistake because the friendship became the fabric of our relationship. So you basically became her emotional tampon, if you will, her gay male girlfriend, voluntarily, I might add. She did, however, show high levels of interest in me when she went home for the summer. She lives on the West Coast and I live on the East Coast where our university is located. She texted and Snapchatted me frequently, saying she missed me, and had often told me her relationship with her boyfriend was on thin ice. Sounds like she's the kind of girl that is going to line up the replacement. She'll be unhappy and miserable with the boyfriend for a long time, and any guy who's willing to kind of be the backup and wait in the wings and be there for her like this guy was. I don't like that kind of behavior. Because if a woman really is comfortable and secure in her skin, she's not going to do that to somebody, even if the guy's a jerk or a total asshole. She's just going to end the relationship and then be single and be totally cool with meeting somebody else. But in this particular case, she's got to line up the replacements. Now, a lot of women do this, not all of them, but women who are very comfortable, who are very secure in who they are, they place a big emphasis on loyalty. They're not like this. And if you want to have a long-term monogamous relationship, those are the kind of women that you want to be in a relationship with. All the rest of them basically can be fuck buddies, open relationships, sex playmates, that kind of thing. My relationship ended that summer as well. In midsummer 2013, she came to town with her mother to condo shop, and she went out of her way to make sure she would see me. because obviously she was really into you. We went with a group of my friends, had a few drinks, and now you're going on group dates with her. Not following the book, dude. And I think this particular guy's been following me for a couple of years. It's like he's been following me, he's been reading the book, watching videos, and here he is just, you'll see, he violates a lot of the principles. And these guys, this is another reason why I say read the book 10 to 15 times, read it 10 to 15 times, and by the way, read it 10 to 15 times. Because it cuts down on these kinds of stupid mistakes. Guy thinks, I read this book, I know this shit. I can go out on a group date, but I can do anything. And she suggested we go back to my place. We chatted for a few minutes, and then she leaned in and started making out with me passionately. She pushed me back into my bedroom, and I had her stripped down to her panties. But every time when I would touch her down there, she would get uncomfortable and shuffle her hips. I tried 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but she wouldn't budge. The idea is you gently rub your hand over her vagina. You just kind of glance it and see what she does with it, and then maybe a few minutes later. A lot of guys that don't have any sensory acuity, obviously you're young, you probably just think, okay, well I've kissed her and sucked on her boobs for a while, now it's time just to grab the pussy, and you just go, like you're grabbing a fucking bag of Skittles or something. It's just not the way to go, dude. But if you are thinking about it, if you're taking your time, if you're practicing infinite patience, if you really care about her and you're really into her, you want to explore her body. You're not going to fool around a little bit and then just go right grab her pussy. You're going to slowly do it. You're like going to take it's like a flyby. A flyby with your hand just kind of gently grazes her pussy through her panties. And as long as she's cool with that, great. If you notice a little resistance, then don't go back down there for 5 or 10 more minutes. And then same thing, make another pass, another flyover, if you will. That's what you're looking for. It's like the trial close in sales. You're just, touching the inside of her thigh and slowly moving it. And if she starts to squirm a little bit, move your hand a little away from the pussy a little bit. You got to develop some sensory acuity. It's not like a robot. Go, okay, I grabbed the pussy, now I go back to this, and 5 minutes later I'm going to grab the pussy again. It's a bad way to go. You got to get good at this. Get good at reading a woman's body and her giving you positive signals. As long as she's comfortable and feels safe, she's going to let you pretty much touch her anywhere. But you start moving too fast, then she's going to slow you down by closing her legs, pushing you away, saying slow down, starting to put some of her clothes back on, those kinds of things. Fall came and we were both newly single, and I was totally infatuated with this girl and lost all emotional self-control. It's kind of like the horny monkey in the zoo, in the cage analogy. You got a bunch of these monkeys and people walking by go, oh, they're so cute. And you got one of them that's just going fucking berserk, hyper, masturbating, throwing his jizz and his feces at the people walking by. And that's basically you. You just couldn't handle it. You knew she was into you and just you exploded. The next time we hung out, we went on a group outing to a nightclub. And you said group date's bad, I know. So now it's the second time you're going on a group date. Although she was staying by my side for much of the night, I displayed a lot of needy, desperate, and approval-seeking behavior. See, it's part of the problem. You're going out in a group environment. You're worried about other people, what they're going to think. You're like, hey, this is my girl. She's with me. We kind of fooled around, and I just glanced her pussy once. And it's why this gets in the way of seduction. You're at a nightclub. There's other dudes there. You should be going to dinner and or having some drinks, or inviting her over to your place and making dinner together, or having a picnic out by the lake somewhere, doing something where the two of you can be alone, where intimacy can happen. You're cock-blocking yourself here, dude, and you're purposely doing this. I would continuously seek her reassurance by trying to kiss and touch her repeatedly. So now you're touching too much, acting like the horny teenager. The polar opposite of what I had done in the previous night. She eventually told me that she was curious about me and wanted to know what it was like to hook up with me, but they had come on too strong, and now she thought we were better off as friends. So what she's basically saying is, I really like you, and I would have fucked you, but you pretty much have talked me right out of it. Because if I do give you a little bit of the punani, you won't be able to handle it, and you'll turn into some weird, creepy stalker. So I want to just stop it right there. I don't want you to get too emotionally invested. So I'm going to stick you in friend zone so you don't have any other hope of getting in my pants, and then you can just act normal around me. Because obviously you don't know how to act normal around me. And if this girl is as pretty as you say she is, and guys are giving her as much attention as you say she is, she probably meets a dozen guys like you a week who are just all over her, touchy-feely, grabby, and you just act like all them. It's that quick. One night, one evening of fucking up, and you're out of there, dude. Things got awkward between us, and we fell out of contact for a while. I ran into her in April of 2014. I flirted and teased her and then walked away. She texted me the next day, and our communication continued into the summer. Now notice what he did. He teased her, he was flirtatious with her, and then he just walked away because she'd already blown him off. I had an example of this that I shared in my book from many years ago. And just like what happened in my case, this girl reaches out because you seem different. You seem like that guy that you were that she almost slept with that time. He says, I had hope again. This fall we reconnected and went out on my birthday with a small group. Third time you're going on a group date, dude. Come on, man. Seriously. She walked into the bar and started flirting with a bevy of men. Why do you think that is? Because she remembers how you were the last time. Needy, desperate, insecure, controlling, jealous. So she goes right to testing you to see if you are the guy that she ran into the other day. Or if you're just the same guy that acted like the horny virgin teenager. I kept my cool and chatted up my own group. About a half hour later, she came looking for me. We grabbed each other's hands and kissed. We got into a cab and she said, you know, we can just go back to your place. Ding! You've passed all my tests, so now I'm ready to have you park your car in my garage. Game over, right? Sure, that's a great idea. But Mr. Cocky and full of himself, he says, I did a video a few years ago called Be Cocky and Charming, Not a Dick. He says, I got cocky and thought we should stay out longer. Yeah, so somebody else can cock block you? At the next bar, we made out in a bathroom stall and I began taking her top off. Just think about this. She is helping you because she likes you. She suggests that you go back to your place so you can have some privacy and intimacy so sex can happen, right? And so here you are thinking, I'm the fucking stud. I know Corey Wade's book. Here I got this chick. She's all into me. Yeah, I've re-attracted her. I'm great. All my boys are with me tonight. And they're seeing me taking this hot girl in the bathroom. Everybody's banging the bathroom door. And I'm fucking taking her top off because I'm going to bang her right in the bathroom. Just like some fucking floozy he met and is going to have a one-night stand in the bathroom. I actually... reminds me of kind of a funny but sad story. There was this girl. She was a friend of another girlfriend of mine. Not somebody I dated, but she was just a girlfriend. And this girl was really pretty, but she tended to hang out with losers. And so I remember she and her girlfriend came over to my house one night, and I was there with a bunch of other friends, and we were going like two different places. I think we're all going to meet up later. Anyways, her and her girlfriend never ended up meeting up with us, and I was like, oh. Guess they had a good time, whatever they did. And then the next Monday at work, she tells me that she went out with this girlfriend of hers, and she ran into a guy that she kind of knew, and then they went back in the bathroom and were making out, and then he set her on the sink, which was one of those sinks that was anchored to the wall. Well, he sat her on the sink, and he's like taking her top off and shit, and the fucking sink came out of the wall, and the whole thing fell down on the floor. She's sitting on top of this ceramic sink. So when it hits the concrete floor, guess what happens? It fucking breaks. This girl was beautiful. She had nice tan legs. And the fucking jagged edges from this ceramic just fucking sliced into the back of her legs. So you got water shooting everywhere in the fucking bathroom. She's fucking bleeding, half naked, bleeding all over the floor. And this is like a busy nightclub. You imagine this fucking scene? That's how things can really go off the fucking rails. But, she was drunk and kind of fucked up, and so she had all kinds of stitches in the back of her legs. It was sad because she had fucking really beautiful, she had a beautiful body. So, there's a word of caution there. Don't be taking girls into the bathroom and setting them on those ceramic sinks because they're usually not anchored in the wall very well. And they were literally getting ready to start fooling around and having sex when this happened. He says at the next bar, we made out in the bathroom stall, and he began taking her top off. I again acted like the horny teenager trying to lose his virginity and did not wait for her physical cues to let me know she was ready to be kissed. Dude, she's invited you to go back to your house. She's like, oh man. Talk about talking her out of liking you. I assumed that because I had kissed her earlier, it was carte blanche to kiss her for the remainder of the night. I backed off for a while and she leaned in to kiss me again, this time for a photo, but sweet nothing after all. Bet you had blue balls after that night. I'm sure you got up and choked the chicken the next day. He says, I kept busy in the next few weeks with school and other dating prospects. She began reaching out to me every other day to see if I was on campus. When I would meet up with her, she seemed genuinely quite excited. Dude, make fucking dates. You're like hanging out as a buddy. Oh, let's go out in a group. I even saw her blush when I unexpectedly ran into her at the library. When I sat next to her, I made a point of escalating things physically. I offered her a massage and gradually escalated the touching to her boobs and butt, but when she responded to which she responded playfully. Again, now you're trying to fucking seduce her in public, dude. Not that there's anything wrong with kissing and making out, but it's again, oh my god, I'm going to get another chance. Let me fuck her in the library. We were in a private part of the library, and since she appeared receptive, I started biting her earlobes and kissing her bare stomach. She was giggling and said, you're going to get us in trouble. You want to get out of here and go back to my place then? When I went for the kiss, before leaving, however, she turned to give me the cheek. See, she went along with it at first. It'd been a while since she'd seen you. You were starting to reestablish yourself, and you just went right back to acting like the horny virgin teenager. This girl's texting you and you weren't making dates. You're just meeting up with her. Damn, dude, you totally cock-blocked yourself. She texted me the next day, eagerly asking when I would be at the library again. I'm not sure, but I'd definitely like to see you again. When are you free to get together? This went on a few more times with the same result. I told her recently that I could no longer hang out with her if she wasn't interested in kissing me and taking things in that direction. Well, dude, she's given you a number of like really fucking obvious hints, but you keep blowing it. She got quite upset, started crying, and claimed that she didn't see me that way and had only ever thought of me as a friend, and claimed that her actions hadn't changed since she told me a year earlier that she thought of us as friends. I realized that I made a number of mistakes. However, I feel like I made my intentions quite clear when I always went for the kiss. You just fucked up, dude. She's ready to go hang out and be alone, and if you'd have known my book backwards and forwards, that shit wouldn't have happened. Instead, you figure, oh, she's kissing me so great, now I can just fucking stick my hand right in her pants and go for the pussy. Why would a girl allow me to touch her that way if she wasn't attracted to me? It's a slow escalation. She's got to get turned on. It's like if you notice those nights where you had the opportunity, you were mostly doing everything right when you were together. And it was a slow escalation. Sex came at the end of the night, like the ice cream or the hot fudge sundae or the banana split, if you will. Pun intended. But instead, it's like you want your dessert as soon as you see her. Well, usually, if you listen to what your mother usually told you, well, that'll give you a tummy ache. Were not all the signs there for me to go for the kiss? Yeah, but it's like I pointed out where you went fucking wrong. Is my margin for error at this point just too slim? Or is the fact that she knows I'm really into her stopping me from getting anywhere? Your thoughts and critique are much appreciated. Your job as a man is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. Not trying to fuck her in the library or take her top off in the library or do something that's embarrassing and maybe her friends could see her or other people that go to that school and think, oh, that's the fucking slut I saw sucking that guy's dick in the library the other day. That's okay if that's your girlfriend and you guys get your freak on in all kinds of public places. But this is a girl you've only fooled around with a couple of times. Taking her into a bathroom and taking her top off when she was ready to go back to your place, you're doing things out of sequence. Remember, women got to feel safe and comfortable. So she felt safe and comfortable enough with you to suggest that you go back to your place. Because in other words, she's saying, hey, I'm ready to have sex with you as long as you don't talk me out of it. And you're like, no, I'm Mr. Cool. I'm the shit. We're going to hang out. We're going to do this. We're going to hang out with these friends. And we're going to go with those friends. and then you try to fuck her in a bathroom. There's no privacy. There's no intimacy. It's like, come on, man. What are you thinking? I mean, think about that. You get in the middle of fucking this girl, and you got the bouncer banging on the door, and then he unlocks it. And then the whole bar, everybody sees what you guys are doing. That's going to be going through her mind. Any normal person would think that and wonder about that. And you're with a woman, and women are really concerned about feeling safe and comfortable. So my advice to you, it's almost as if you just completely ignored everything you've learned from me, and you just continued acting the same way you've always acted, with the exception of sometimes you act a little different, sometimes you tease a little, sometimes you're a little playful. But it's like as soon as you think you're getting somewhere, you just fucking totally come unglued, and you can't handle it. That's the problem. You can't handle it when a beautiful woman gives you attention or shows that she's ready to go somewhere with the relationship, or she's ready to have things escalate physically. So I would read the book, wait to hear from her. When you do, make a fucking date, dude. Stop all this group date and hanging out and this and that. And if she contacts you, don't take her out, don't meet her out, invite her over to your place for dinner. And if she doesn't want to come over and make dinner together, then say, well, it's been a long week and I'm just in the mood to hang at my place. If you don't want to come over and make dinner together, then give me a call in 2 to 3 weeks and maybe I'll be up for something more formal then. And then pause. Wait to hear what she says. And she'll either go, okay, well, what's your address again? Okay, great, I'll be there at 8, whatever it happens to be. Or she'll go, all right, yeah, I'll give you a call in a couple of weeks. And then next time she calls you, it's the same thing. You're not going to go out of your way for this girl. If she reaches out, assume she wants to see you, invite her over to your place. She's the one that stuck you in friend zone. She's the one who wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, the bottom line is, for sex and intimacy to happen, you got to be alone. And at this particular point, because you so screwed up so much, I would just invite her to your place. It's as simple as that. If she's not willing to do that, then withdraw the offer and say, well, maybe some other time. Just like I said. But it's like you're not following the principles that I set forth, and you're literally talking this girl out of sleeping with you. You've done it on a number of occasions. It's a shame, because it sounds like you got a great opportunity to hook up with a girl that's a 10 in your eyes. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.